This is a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple, juice and all, added to it. Get it all out of there. A fourth a teaspoon of salt and a fourth a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder in there. A fourth a cup of oil and 2 eggs. And you just stir it up because that juice and the oil there's enough moisture. You just stir it until it's all incorporated together. It doesn't take but just a minute. And then I have a pan here that I've lightly sprayed, and pour this in there. Get all of it. And then you put this in a 350 oven for 45 minutes to bake it. That's it.
That was simple enough, quick and easy.
That's the reason I said it's easy. Except for the 45 minutes, you can do it in an hour. And then you ice it while it's hot. I wait till I take the cake out of the oven, and when I take the cake out of the oven, then I use 1 stick of butter, a cup and a half of sugar, and 1 small can of evaporated milk. And you put it on the stove at medium heat, and you bring all this to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, you boil it for 3 minutes. And it will look runny, but you remove it from the burner after 3 minutes. You add in a cup of coconut and a cup of chopped pecans. And you stir that all and make sure the coconut's all separated and gets all the gooey stuff on it. Now it will still look runny, and you may think, oh, that's not right, but it is. You pour it on the cake while the cake's still hot, and it, like I said, it runs, but it sets up and looks like this.
Yes, let me put it where you can get a good shot of it. This is what it looks like.
And it'll look like that, and that it all sets up. So don't think you haven't cooked it enough. 3 minutes is enough. And then you add the pecans and the coconut, and this is what you come out with.
Oh, and this is what we're going to get to sample here in a few minutes. Doesn't that look delicious?
It's a good cake because it stays moist for a long time.
Yes, it looks delicious. Well, thank you so much, Doris, for sharing this with us. And we'll set this back here and get it going. Okay, and that's fine. That'll be fine right there. Just leave it. So, okay. Next, we're going to have Miss Marty come up and do her granddaddy's crock pot beans. And I'm anxious to try this because I know it's going to be good. Okay, girlie.
All right, we got all of that. Okay, now that all the good cooks are through, I'm going to teach y'all how to cheat. This is a real difficult recipe. So we've got cans.
You gotta know how to open cans.
That's right, you have to know how to open cans. This is my granddad's favorite recipe for beans, so we're just gonna talk about what all's in it, and you just put it in a crock pot and go. So it calls for 2 cans of jalapeno pinto beans. Don't drain them. And I only put 1, because sometimes people don't like them quite so spicy. If you like spicy food, both can be jalapeno. If not, you can just do 1 of each. Or you don't have to put the jalapenos in if you don't like them. 2 cans drained lima beans, and then 2 cans of pork and beans, juice and all. To begin with, I take a skillet. If you are pressed for time, so I'm going to give you the cheat sheet. A bag of bacon bits, real bacon bits, And then I keep bacon grease at home all the time. You can buy bacon grease now if you need to, but take just probably a couple of tablespoons of bacon grease and saute an onion and a bell pepper. You can use red or green or whatever you prefer. Saute that together in the bacon grease, and then put all of your beans in the crock pot. You're gonna put a cup of brown sugar. You're gonna put a cup of ketchup. You're gonna put a teaspoon of lemon juice. And then you're gonna put a teaspoon of cumin. Mix it all together. Tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Put it in your crock pot. Cook it on low all day. And that's all there is to it. And I add a bag of the bacon bits. If you prefer to cook your own bacon, you can, but I'm always in a hurry, so I cheat.
Yeah.
So,
That's okay. Nothing wrong
yeah,
with that.
it comes out the same. And then once you do that, when you cook them all day, they have a sweet, spicy taste to them. And this is what you come up with. And
Oh
if you, yeah.
That looks delicious.
And they're really good. This was my grandpa's favorite thing.
Favorite thing.
Yes, it's good with any kind of barbecue meat. If you're doing grilled chicken on the grill or ribs, or they're good with all of that.
I
So
could see where that would be good with just a bowl with a piece of cornbroad with it. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
And an onion.
That's
and
right.
an onion. Gotta
Cornbread.
have that onion.
and that's all there is to it. Simple, simple. So
Okay. Well, thank you so much
welcome.
for sharing that with us. And we've got one more little thing I'm gonna do, and then we'll be ready to eat here in a few minutes. And this, the only reason I've decided to do this is, oh, where is it? Oh. I can't find my stuff. I don't know where my stuff is. Oh, here it is. Okay. The only reason I decided to do this little recipe right quick is because when I found it on Pinterest, I could not believe it would be any good. So I'm going to share it with you though, because it is absolutely wonderful, and it's called, it is a 2-ingredient biscuits. And believe me, they are delicious to just have 2 ingredients. But you have 2 cups of self-rising flour. And the reason you use the self-rising flour, you do not have to use, do not have to put baking powders, salt, soda, or anything in it. It's just 2 cups of self-rising flour. And then the other ingredient in it is, I measured this morning when I made some, and the recipe called for a 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream. And it has to be heavy whipping cream. It cannot be just whipping cream. It has to be your heavy whipping cream. But this morning I used a little over 2 cups. Now I didn't use the liquid cup measuring. I used this one that I did my flour in, and you just pour that in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour 1.5 cups in and see, about 1.5 cups, and see what happens. I can, once you make them several times, you will see what the consistency of them needs to be. So now see, they're still a little bit too thick, and that was 1.5 cups. So I'm gonna go back with another 1/2 cup, which would be 2 cups of it. And I think this is going to be about right. No, I'll do like Edith, just a tad more. Titch, just a titch more.
You allow questions from the crowd, how much and how long is a titch?
Oh, okay. Okay, I think that's it. So what I'm gonna do now, and this is kind of what it looks like, this is the texture of it. We're gonna put us a little bit of this flour on the cutting board. And you do not have to use a rolling pin or anything with it. You just put your little bit of flour, and they're just so quick and easy to make. And I have a pan of them back there in the oven, Marty, if you don't mind getting them, so they can see what they look like. But I just kind of knead it a little bit. The dough's gonna be a little bit sticky, but knead the dough just a little. You don't want to knead it too much because it'll make them tough. And then I just take my hand and press it down instead of using a rolling pin. And I use this little small cookie cutter today because I wanted to make a bunch of them. And so you can use the larger ones. But I did find out too, when you cut your biscuits, you do not cut them and twist them because they will not rise as much if you twist them. And I have done that all my life. That's the way my mother did hers. But I was reading on Pinterest and it said, no, you do not twist them. And see, I twisted it then. But this, I'm not gonna go ahead and cut out all of these to save time, but this is what they look like, and this is how they turn out. And they are delicious. They are so good for 2 ingredients, for self-rising flour and your whipping cream. And you bake them at 450 for about 15 minutes. And usually out of 2 cups, you can get, of the little small biscuits, you can get 18 to 20. And so your larger ones, if you cut them out the regular size, you'd probably only get about 10 or 12. But anyway, that's the little biscuit recipe. And let me get this out of the way, and I'm going to have Brother Danny come up and tell you a little bit about our Vacation Bible School before we close. That's going to be starting here in a few weeks.
All right, I had this all ready and I just did a swipe and got rid of it all. So, oh, here we go. All right. You know, we're pretty excited around First Baptist. We are just inundated with kids all year long with school systems and after school programs. And so now we're about to transition to the summer. And one of the big transitions is VBS. We'll have one more after school program, and then on June, whatever it is, oh my, I'm not seeing it here. June 3rd through the 7th, those 5 that week, first weekend in June, or first week of June, we'll have VBS here at First Baptist Church in Yantis, and it will be from 2 o'clock until 5:30. And so that'll be all 5 days of that week. And so it'll be a great time. And at the same time, we'll potentially be opening up our new, for us, playground as well. And so that'll be an exciting time for the kids. So you can pre-register if you go to FBCYantis.com. And it'll if you look down the link, look down the page a bit, you'll see a link to pre-register for VBS. Now you can come and register the first day as well, but we want to, if you can pre-register, that'll help you and that'll help us. So we appreciate that very much. And so I think Pat is going to talk about something else that we've got going on in the summer, which is we have a ladies event coming up in June, and I'm not sure you've got all the information for that.
Yeah, I've got the information. I've got it down here. I'm like you. I've got to read my information.
Okay.
Yes, we have a ladies event coming up June the 8th, and it's a ladies brunch, and Cindy Hassel will be the guest speaker, and it will be from like 10:30 in the morning until noon. And so we'd like to invite all you ladies that would like to come. We'd love for you to come and fellowship with us and have a good time and hear Cindy. So mark that on your calendar. It's Saturday, June the 8th from 10:30 to 12. And we'd love to have you. And that pretty much concludes our program for today. And do I need to have Edith back up here now? Okay. Edith, you're gonna need to come back up here because we didn't, somehow yours did not record. It didn't get recorded. So what do you want me to do? Have her?
Did you put the one she made in
Yes,
the oven?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's in the oven. It's no big deal.
okay, well,
I can tell you
Yeah,
about it.
tell us about it because that, we don't know why. it didn't.
Okay, I got a pan, I put some potatoes, I peeled them, and I quartered them. You can, all depending on what size potatoes, put them in the bottom. I took some Eckrich sausage, chopped it up, boiled it to get the grease off of it, and then I put that on top. Then I added some baby carrots. I know baby carrots are kind of hard, so guess what? I'll boil them a titch.
Okay. I'm gonna
And,
get this.
and
So
then
good.
I threw in some broccoli, and then I put in some fresh onions, and then I took a little olive oil, shortened it, and I put some paprika, some garlic powder, and I had some citrus basil spices. I threw that in there, and some salt, and then I put in some Parmesan cheese, and you just sprinkle it all, and put it on top, and just bake it. And you can add whatever vegetable on there that you want to add. If you want to add squash, zucchini, asparagus, and the rest, there's not a recipe for this. I just ad lib, you know. And I put this on at 8 o'clock this morning, it's still warm. And I made just a little small one to show you what it was like. And Pat's already got it in the oven. And I made some cornbread to go with her
Yes.
beans.
Yes.
And I made a cherry cobbler so we can have, we got desserts coming out the yin yang today. So
Oh.
that's it in a nutshell.
Okay,
No
well,
big deal.
thank you so much for
No big
sharing
deal.
this with us, and we're gonna eat this here in a few minutes, and I know it's gonna be good. So, does anybody else have anything they'd like to say before we close today? This has been a different day. But anyway, we appreciate all the ones that are here live, supporting us. And this cooking video is a ministry of, it's a senior adult ministry is what it is. And we enjoy doing it so much. And we love having you come out and be with us. And I did want to tell you, next month, we have been doing this for 1 year. 1 year next month. So we are going to have something really special next month. I've got to get with Brother Danny and get it approved first. But we're going to have something really special. And I remember the very first video was Joanne Bevel. And that she started it off. She kicked it off a year ago next month is when she started it. And so we're excited about having something special next month. So we hope you can all come visit with us and be here and enjoy fellowship and the meal with us. And so thank you again for watching. And if you're looking for a home church, we'd love to have you come visit here. It's a great church and great people here. So we'd love to invite you to come to Yantis First Baptist Church anytime you can. So thanks again. Oh, I wanted to thank my husband Steve for doing the video for us today, and thank all the ladies that helped with the recipes. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next month.